Hello friends, welcome to the module 7 of this video series, and we're going to talk about something very important, that's procrastination. Procrastination, or putting everything on the back burner. Procrastination means you avoiding, or you keep putting off whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing at that point of time. And while it conjures up images of lounging on the sofa watching daytime TV when you're supposed to be writing an ebook, that's not always the case. Instead, you could feel incredibly busy, and yet the one thing you should be doing isn't getting done. For example, let's suppose you need to work on your ebook, but instead you're doing this. You start off in the morning by surfing forums and websites, then you check your emails, then you start replying to the emails, right? Then you get another business idea while reading the email and then start researching on that. Then you remember that you need to make some calls, right? It could be a partner, it could be your friends, it could be family, or anything. Then you could simply go back researching on what you were doing. Then you run out for lunch, then you come back and then you start surfing forums and check emails again, and so on all day long. At the end of the day, you're exhausted because you have been so busy and you were actually doing a lot of work, but yet you haven't gotten that one single thing that you actually wanted to do, that is getting your ebook done. And that is procrastination. And you can beat it. You can actually beat it in 3 easy steps. The first step is conquering it is. That means that you need to recognize what exactly is going on and what's happening, like why you're getting exhausted, why you're feeling so busy, and why your work is not getting done. You will win half the battle just by doing that. If you spend all day feeling busy but you're not actually productive, then you are procrastinating. So you get to know when you're procrastinating. The second step is to think about why you're procrastinating. If you can figure that out, then you're shining a light on your fear. What? Are you afraid of success? Or are you afraid of the unknown? Are you afraid of failure? Or maybe you're just not ready to step out of your comfort zone. So you need to beat these things, and this is something which only you can do, right? No one else can help you out with this one, because it has to be you who needs to understand that what's going on with your life. Now, if you are afraid of success, it's possible. There is a reason behind that. Many people just look at other people and see that they're successful, and it's a very common notion that when you look at someone who is very successful, you simply start thinking that he might have done something illegal, or he might have done something wrong to attain that kind of success, right? Or you could be afraid of the unknown. You could be like, all right, I'm doing some kind of job right now and earning, like, let's say $150 per day, and what if I lose a job? Right, and you hate that job. Let me mention this as well. You do that, you're making money and everything, but you hate your job. But you're not ready to even quit that. You know why? Because you are afraid. That is fear of unknown. All right. So you need to even win that fear as well. And then afraid of failure. That is something which people think is one of the main reasons, but you know what, that is actually the last reason, because you need to do something in order to fail. And if you are afraid of your success, if you're afraid of the unknown, then you will never be able to get anything started. So fearing or getting afraid of failure, it would be the last thing what you will be able to do. But then again, yes, that is one of the major reasons why people procrastinate. Or maybe you're just not ready to step out of the comfort zone, like I mentioned. So that's all again, something which is related to the fear of unknown. Because what you're doing right now is pretty good. You think it's pretty good, right? Because you're just moving out of your home in the morning and doing whatever you want to do, though the fact remains that you are working for someone else and making them richer every single minute you're working in that office, right? But still, I feel that you are in your comfort zone because everything is in routine. But who is making that routine? People who are successful, people who are above you, they are making that routine for you. They wanted to be at the office at 9 o'clock. They wanted to eat your food at 12:30. Doesn't matter if you're hungry or not, because that's your lunch time. And then at 3 o'clock, you have to take a break and then go and have some tea or coffee. Isn't that crazy? someone else is deciding when you want to have your food. Someone else is deciding when you want to have your coffee. Someone else is deciding that when exactly you're supposed to finish your work and go back to your home. Isn't that really crazy? But still, think that you're in your comfort zone, right? And the final step is breaking free. The final step is breaking free and start taking small steps towards your goal, right? The chains of procrastination is really very difficult to break at a certain point of time. And this is something which you might think, but that is not exactly the truth. We're going to talk about this a little later in this video itself. All right. Now, something which happens to all of us, that's making excuses. Making excuses is just blaming someone else for your fears. Alright, and finally, this is the one major ways we show our fear, by blaming someone else or something else for our disappointments, and that includes future failures and disappointments as well. So it happens when we don't take responsibility, right? And instead of taking responsibility, we pin the blame elsewhere. It happens when we make excuses for why we won't be able to do something. Consider this: two people launch a product, both have dismal launches, right? They explain them this way. Person one: my launch was disappointing because there were so many of the big launches that day and I didn't have a chance. The person two says, my launch was disappointing because my launch plan was lacking. I didn't get enough JV partners, and my sales lead didn't convert as well as it should have. So most of us, unfortunately, sound a lot more like the person one than person two. Indeed, it's really hard to take full responsibility of our disappointments and failure. But when we do that, we actually conquer something real big. So the next time when you find yourself looking elsewhere for a reason as to why something didn't work for you, stop. Alright? Stop and look to yourself first. And then come into changing your behaviors or attitude the next time you do something important. Remember the person two? He actually said that I didn't get enough JV partners. So now he knows that he needs to get in touch with more joint venture partners in order to make his next launch successful. But the person one was saying that my launch was disappointing because there were so many other big launches that day. So can you do something about it? I mean, can you go and get those launches to fail, or can you just go and tell other marketers that they should stop their launches because you're launching something that day? That's crazy, right? So do you think the person one will ever be able to do a successful product launch? I don't think so. Alright, now here's one more thing. Remember that when you can take sole credit for your success, when you're successful, you're like, yeah, I mean, I might have some role model, but I did everything in order to be successful. But when it comes to take sole responsibility of your failure, you don't do it. So remember, if you can take sole credit for your success, you need to take sole responsibilities of your failures. Now let's look at another common fear. It's fear of abundance, wealth, and prosperity.